Good morning. You're welcome to another beautiful segment on our breakfast news to you this morning. Bringing your breakfast news to you is Makonjola Oluwatosin Esther from Ondo City, live from Ondo City from AYOGEN online television. Here are the major headlines. On our headlines this morning, on our local news group holds International Day of Forest in Abuja. Why Obiano hasn't been released, says the EFCC. On our political news this morning, Adebutu picks governorship form, says no crisis in Ogun PDP. On our business news this morning, Telco small tariff hike as diesel price skyrockets. On our sport news this morning, they poured a scritter juju inside our dressing room, ex-United 23 star Udo on playing Ghana in Kumasi. On our health news this morning, starvation diet strips the body of essential nutrients, says nutritionist. On our foreign news this morning, neutral Ukraine, Russia in talks with Kyiv. On our entertainment news this morning, SARS Banky W condemns Lagos government for Lekki toll gate reopening. So full details coming up next. Welcome back. The group holds International Day of Forest in Abuja. An Abuja-based group, Sentosa Conservative Club, said it was set to hold the 2022 International Day of Forest on March 2022. The event, with the theme Forest and Sustainable Production and Consumption, will be held at the Sentosa Park, Akpo Legislative Quarters, Abuja. The Chief Executive Officer of CSCC, Dr. Babade Bamidele Amos, in a statement of Friday said the occasion would involve tree planting, an exhibition of clean energy products and non-timber forest products, and awareness/conservation education. According to him, other activities lined up for the event include the official launch of the club membership, networking and partnership opportunities. He said that a keynote speech on sustainable forestry will also be delivered at the event. The International Day of Forest holds every March 21, as established by the United Nations in 2012, to celebrate and raise awareness of the importance of all types of forest, trees, outside forests, for the benefit of current and future generations. Why Obiano hasn't been released, says the EFCC. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra is still undergoing interrogation after his arrest on Thursday. Head of Media and Publicity of EFCC, Mr. Wilson Owujaren, said this in an interview on Friday. He said that Obiano, who was arrested on Thursday at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, was brought to Abuja on Friday morning. The EFCC spokesman said that the former governor has not been released, has been speculated in some sections of the media. The former governor is currently in our custody undergoing interrogation, and I cannot see exactly when he will be released. I don't know how long the exercise will take. All I can tell you now is that he is still in the EFCC's custody in Abuja, he said. Owujaren, however, said it was not aware of the arrest of the wife of the former governor, Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, has been circulated in some sections of the media. Obiano was arrested by EFCC on Thursday night, hours after handing over to the new Anambra Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. NAN report. On our political news this morning, Adebutu picks governorship's form, says no crisis in Ogun PDP. An aspirant vying for the office of Governor of Ogun State on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, Ladipupo Adebutu, has said there is no crisis in the state chapter of the party. This, as he said, he is sure of his victory in the 2023 governorship elections. Adebutu disclosed this to journalists on Thursday at the PDP National Secretariat, Abuja, shortly after obtaining his expression of interest in nomination forms. The governorship hopeful declared that he has sat the party fruitfully, continue contributing immensely to its growth, even though that earned him considerable political persecutions, which he claimed to have survived through his good intentions for the party. He affirmed that the main opposition party will regain power in the Ogun with the support of stakeholders, regardless of the odds stacked up against it. Cited the event heralding the Ogun State 2019 election, Adebutu said, "I aspire to serve the people of Ogun State as governor. The party chose me to be the PDP candidate, but some people circumvented it and the court stopped me." But today, Ogun PDP is one of the party and what party is truly united. There is one electoral college and we are approaching the 2023 election as a united front. With a free and fair contest, I believe I shall be the party nominees. I shall be the PDP candidate. I will be able to bring to play the manifesto of the PDP and my personal aspirations and programs for the people of Ogun State. Quizzed about the performance of the incumbent governor, Dakpo Abiodun, he replied, I don't want to rate the incumbent. I won't say they have failed in doing roads, failed in education or health. Rather, I will tell you what the PDP is capable of doing. On our business news this morning, Telco's small tariff hike as diesel price skyrockets. Telecommunication services providers under the aegis of the Association of Licensed Telecoms Operators of Nigeria have said a tariff review for the telco services may happen if the rise in the price of diesel is sustained. The chairman, Banky W, disclosed this to our correspondent in our interview. According to him, the telecoms industry is one of the major consumers of diesel in the country. The sector has said it had already been impacted by the current hike in diesel prices and scarcity of the product. He said it is already impacting us and very significantly so. We are one of the industries that have the highest consumption of diesel across the country. Our need is not just in the major cities, it is all across the country. Diesel is required in all the places that requires services. We are already significantly impacted, but it is not just about the high cost, it is also about availability. Suppliers are beginning to find it difficult to supply the commodity because of scarcity. When the freight costs of haulage have gone up, the cost of procurement of the diesel itself has gone up significantly. We are actually in a very bad situation. And how we display in end-user pricing requires us to follow the right channel, the regulatory procedure for conveying a complaint to the regulator. According to Adebayo, telcos will continue to ensure that there are no service disruptions in the nation. However, he added that there might be a need for a tariff review if the present diesel crisis persists. He said the diesel situation is a problem at this time. We are doing all that we can to ensure the business continues as usual in all cases and under every circumstances. The assurance for the public is that there will be a time of outage because of the current diesel crisis. What I cannot assure is that at some point there may be not a consideration for some or few of the tariff review. I cannot guarantee that it will not happen sometime in the near future. I cannot guarantee that, but as it stands today, I will reassure the public that there will be continuous service at all times. We will continue to solve the problems to the best of our ability. We will certainly need the project of the government for some intervention at some point. All that we are doing at this time is to ensure that there is no disruptions to services. On our sport news this morning, the poured excreta juju inside our dressing room, ex-United 23 star Udo on playing Ghana in Kumasi. On the 17th World Cup, winner Kingsley Udo has recounted his experience playing against Ghana at the dreaded Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi during the qualifiers for the 2011 African Games. Udo was a member of the United 20 Under-23 team coached by the Austin Eguavoen that took on Ghana for a place at the 2011 African Games and crashed out after the tie ended 3-3 on aggregates. The first leg in Benin City ended 3-1 in favor of Nigeria, but the Black Meteors, as Ghana Under-23 side unknown, won the tie 2-0 to qualify on the away goal rule. 11 years after Udo, who won the Under-17 World Cup in 2007, said the players had a nightmarish time playing against their arch-rivals in Kumasi. The former Atlanta centre-back said All-Star fans made the players pass through hell during and before after the encounter. We were not allowed to enter the dressing room, Udo said. They poured excreta and juju inside the dressing room and we couldn't go in. We changed outside. They destabilized us. Kumasi fans are very harsh and unfriendly, and it seems City coach Austin Eguavoen is going back too. It's not a place you like to play. The forces there are too much, but I believe we have players who can withstand the heat there. On a hot news this morning, starvation diet strips the body of essential nutrients, says the nutritionist. A retired director of nutrition services, Dr. James Oloyede, has warned against skipping meals starvation diet as a weight loss strategy, noting that an ideal diet plays a crucial role in the body and promotes well-being. Oloyede noted that starvation diet strips the body of the required nourishment and reduces metabolic. According to the nutritionist, when it comes to weight loss, balanced diet plays a primary role as it ensures that an individual takes sufficient amount of calories for the purpose of providing the body with essential nutrients. He explained that weight loss is not a short-term goal achievable with short-term dietary changes, but a gradual process that must include the right lifestyle approach. Oloyede said simple exercises such as walking, jogging, running, and skipping can also play a role in weight loss, as diet and exercises are like two sides of a coin. He said without any doubt when it comes to losing weight, the food we eat is the primary thing to consider. Starving is never a wise move to consider for weight loss. There are required amount of daily calories allowed for consumption, but when there is excess calorie intake, weight problems start with its attendant consequences. To get rid of the excess weight, an individual can choose to eat fewer calories than the recommended daily allowance, as excess calories are stored as fat in the body and will be mobilized to supply the deficit, leading to weight reduction. On the other hand, an individual may choose to exercise and in the process burn part of the excess calories, thereby attaining weight reduction. According to Nicole Turner Ravana, a weight loss coach, in an article titled Starvation Diet, published on Livestrong.com, not eating enough can slow the body's metabolism, making it harder to lose weight. She explained that the body can detect when there has been a shift in calorie levels and react accordingly. With severe food restriction, the body begins to conserve its fuel, store fat. The result is that you burn less calories and stop losing weight. Then whether you are exercising, walking, or sleeping, you burn fewer calories all day long while dieting. It's supposed to mean deprivation and hunger. Starving, fed, and literally leads to more successful weight loss and maintenance, she stated. Highlighting some principles that can help an individual to maintain a healthy diet and achieve the desired weight, Oloyede said eating healthy should be prepared by ultimate goal. Prepare your food and limit eating out. Stop excess consumption of processed foods and sugar. Avoid cooking with unhealthy oil, unsaturated oil. Eat whole grains more than processed ones and avoid snacks in between meals, he said. On our foreign news this morning, neutral Ukraine, Russia in talks with Kyiv. Russia's top negotiator at talks with Ukraine said on Friday that Moscow and Kyiv had brought their position as close as possible on a proposal for Ukraine to become a neutral state. The Kremlin had on Wednesday said that a neutral Ukraine along the lines of Sweden or Austria was being discussed at talks with Kyiv to end the 3 weeks of Russian military operation there. Ukraine was said to have rejected the proposal, said it wanted its security to be guaranteed by international forces. The topic of neutral status and Ukraine's non-accession to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization is one of the key points of the talks. That is the point on which the parties brought their positions as close as possible. Russia's lead negotiator Vladimir Medinsky said on Friday, cited by Russian news agencies. He, however, added that there was no cease when it came to security guarantees requested by the Ukraine. Russia, which had been conducting a military operation in Ukraine since February 24, had requested that its neighbors never joined the Western NATO military alliance and equally demanded its demilitarization and denazification. Medinsky said on Friday the negotiators were halfway towards an agreement on the demilitarization of Ukraine. An advisor to Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, taking part in the negotiations, however, said this country's position has not budged. Negotiation status, the statements of the Russian side are only their requesting positions, he wrote on Twitter. All statements are intended inter alia to provoke tension in the media. Our positions are unchanged: ceasefire, withdrawal of troops, and strong security guarantees with concrete formulas, he added. On entertainment news this morning, and SARS, Banky W condemns Lagos State government for Lekki toll gate reopening. Nollywood actor and singer Olubankole Wellington, popularly known as Banky W, has condemned the Lagos State government for the proposed reopening of the Lekki toll gate manned by the Lekki Concession Company. The toll gate was shut down following the alleged shooting of unarmed protesters by men of the Nigerian army during the October 2020 #EndSARS protest. However, LCC announced on Monday that stolen activities will resume at the gate by April. On his Twitter page, the entertainer-cum-politician stated that the proposed reopening is unfair and demonstrates the Lagos State government's serious lack of empathy. The intended resumptions of collections at the Lekki toll gate is yet another example of a serious lack of empathy by the Lagos State government. Life in Nigeria has been extremely difficult. All things being considered, the timing of this decision is just unfair, he tweeted. Wellington on Thursday also said the government was exhibiting a blatant disregard, not just for the pain felt by all the young people who were hurt by the event of EndSARS, but also the pain and difficulty being experienced by the majority of Lagosians just trying to survive in these difficult times. And that'll be that on our breakfast news. We'll be right back. To stay with us. Welcome back. The highlights of our major headlines today. On our local news, Group holds International Day of Forest in Abuja. Why Obiano hasn't been released, says the EFCC. On our political news this morning, Adebutu picks governorship form, says no crisis in Ogun, PDP. On our business news this morning, Telco small tariff hike as diesel price skyrocket. On our sport news this morning, the port excreted Juju inside a dressing room, action on the 23-star Odo on playing Ghana in Kumasi. On our health news this morning, starvation diet strips the body of essential nutrients, says nutritionist. On our foreign news this morning, neutral Ukraine, Russia in talks with Kyiv. On entertainment news this morning, EndSARS, Banky W condemns Lagos State government for Lekki toll gates reopening. And that will be that on our breakfast news this morning. So thank you for watching. I want you to continue to subscribe on our YouTube channel, on AYOGEN Online Television, and follow us respectively on Facebook and Instagram on AYOGEN Online Television. I remain your host, Makonjola Oluwatusen. Do have a very wonderful day and a nice weekend.